Alright everyone, Christine here, continuing my Let's Play of Ultimate Admiral, Age of Sail. I am going to go against the main Franco-American battle line. At least that's what the game is telling me. Objects in motion. I have quite a few ships of my own though to bring to bear against them, and I think I will do just that quite effectively. The actual problem for me here is not so much winning, it's trying to capture as many ships as possible. There are some battles that I fought that have been difficult. This one, less so. As in, I've already played this one several times off screen, about 3 times, and I've won it every single time. Now, my goal, though, of course, is to not lose any ships, win the battle, and, you know, come out on top with my units mostly intact. Let's go with that. And with the Aquila, yes. Indeed. Alright, so 14th of May. I have always dreamed of the day when a mighty fleet of ships under my command would sail forth for the glory of king and country. Today that dream becomes reality. My forward line approaches the enemies, and the giant sails of French ships of the line, really? Line ships? What the hell? Ships of the line are visible into the distance. The odds are not in our favor, but my men are steady and prepared. Indeed. Our reconnaissance reports indicate that the French have at least one 74-gun ship. They don't, and that they are reinforced by a rebel light squadron. It is better to keep our light forces at a distance than the enemy, just in case they have to pull back under the protection of the main line. Okay? It is unlikely that we'll be able to score a decisive victory, but we can hold them long enough to retreat when night occurs. Now, we'll see about that. I am going to aim for a decisive victory. Now, the main thing to keep in mind here is this ship is very fucking slow. So, I am going to have to keep that in mind and just put it on full sail. Now, these ones, I will actually want to set them all to grape shot, actually. So that as they're moving past the enemy battle line, and I'll want to slow them down as they're getting closer. All of them grape shot. I found grape shot, maybe it's just my perspective, like armor is supposed to protect you from the damage, right? But I've just personally found grape shot to be so effective. So these two seem to be fifth-rate ships, right? 200 personnel. That's a 4th-rate ship of line of frigate. These two, yeah, these are just what, sloops, whatever. And those are 3rd-rate ships on line with 68 cannons each. The game is very confusing in terms of that. Like, I guess they realized that they were making a mistake, so they updated the ships probably, but they haven't updated the, you know. Alright, let's just slow, actually. Yeah, let's just go very slow. Because, like, so far, up until this point, what I've done, maybe incorrectly, really, is that when I've been engaging enemy fleets, is that I've gone full-on speed ahead. But I don't necessarily want to do that, really. I want to take it nice and slow and just really bear down on them. Alright, let's bring the main sails down. It's kind of weird, really. Alright, so slow down, but keep moving. Alright, because I want my ships to just really pulverize them. Do a drive-by, so to speak. Alright, so that one's almost finished. But that was just the first in the line over there. Okay. I I'd say that they've done a fairly reasonable job, really, at destroying and really severely weakening these guys, actually. Is it enough? Probably will be, actually. So my main battleships will head over there to deal with their ships of the line. Okay, so we already got one surrender. Gonna bring the Andalus back. Okay. All right, so they've clearly surrendered. All right, so that's one taken out of commission. All right, let me just get these guys. Where is my... No, not looking for that. Actually, I'm looking for... Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so they are winning over there. Now, ideally, I do obviously want to win this with the fewest possible casualties, right? So that is certainly my goal. I'll send units from this one. Alright, let's just slow down a bit. He says size speed, they're barely moving. Alright. Let's get closer, get the Cornwall in there, get the Saint. Actually, let's turn around and go for these two. All the capital ships also intensify their engagement. Alright. Yeah, a bit slow, but I knew it was gonna happen at some point where, you know, I was gonna get more ships to command, where I'd have to really be careful. Now, these two seem to be stuck a bit. Let me switch to cannon. Alright. Alright, so I still have plenty of time. You move out of that AI position. Alright, just me. I do like the fact that they do represent the actual sound, the guns, because like actual like assault rifles, modern assault rifles are very fucking loud. You can imagine how loud these kind of cannons would be. Oh shit. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to board that, and I'm going to use these guys to... Come on. Okay, good. You know what? Time for some boarding actions. Right, so they've managed to claim that one. Very good. Battle goes on. Oh, I see why they weren't so effective. I was shooting the sails. My bad. Alright, I brought close to 3,000, they brought closer to 2,000 men. I had 374 guns, they had 342, so they actually weren't that outmatched in terms of just the raw firepower on display, especially considering some of the guns I had. But then again, they also had smaller ships, so I probably outgunned them. So in terms of caliber, that is, I probably had far more firepower than they did. So that worked out quite brilliantly, actually. So I've captured a lot. Let's leave it there. Like that was... Whew. Okay. Now, of course, there is a cost, believe it or not. Repairing these ships might end up being more expensive than... No. Cancel first. Reload, then accuracy, stamina. Okay, very good. The Andalus needs repair. I do have a lot of money, so that's that's not actually an issue. Yeah. The bigger issue is actually getting enough weapons. So the problem I'm encountering right now, I have the guns. You know, I have the... Alright, so I'm going to put him in charge and put someone else in charge as a subordinate. Okay, repair that, get more crew, that kind of shit. So... Yep. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 third-rate ships of the line. So that is quite a lot. The problem is being able to actually use all these ships. I can get 4. You know, I can get 4, and I can get some working. That's not the problem. I am going to have to go with... So on one hand, we have a fleet battle that can bring together 4, 7, 10 ships, and it's going to be actually quite a tough one, all things considered. Then there is another battle. Now, I can get rid of some of these. I'll actually throw some of these to the Admiralty, just because don't really need all of them. I don't need the Flora right now. I really don't. A ship like that, not really useful at the moment. So send that to the Admiralty. And the goal, I think I'll keep one of these. Send this one to the Admiralty. USS Owl. It's only 1 point difference. Okay. I kind of dislike the idea. Let's see. Of sending these ships. Well, Hector, okay. Yeah, that's still not quite enough, so I'll probably have to Therese. Yeah, La Sensible. Because I want to be able to get another ship of the line here just to get that. I probably can't go higher than that, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, just going with more than that would be prohibitively expensive. And it's actually not even the fact that it's not even just like the crew or the guns or anything like that. It's by guns I mean the cannons. It's actually the muskets that are becoming a problem. Unless I want to put trade muskets on these things, and it's like, what the hell are you thinking if you're doing that, really? I'm gonna send one of these Therese La Sensible. Yeah, Therese. Let's go with that. So with that, La Petite Patrie. So add this to fleet. Repair. Put 500 crew. That's the actual issue right here. That's a bigger and bigger issue that's becoming, because if you look at the rifles, and I've checked, I think I've unlocked pretty much every kind of rifle type. It is actually becoming a problem just being able to have enough rifles. Now, over here, put him in charge of the ship. Put I mean, actually, fuck that. I'm gonna put the guy that has 100 stats to everything, right? Because you do want some guy who's actually genuinely competent in charge of the stuff like this. So I'm going to go to the Quilla, actually, dismiss him, put this guy in charge, yes. Take the Quilla, go back to the Petit Patre, put him in charge of the guns. Alright. Need some guys that... Yeah, the thing is, it's really, I just need guys that are competent. He would be reasonable enough, okay. Yeah, I can do with shittier captains on my lesser ships. That's really not the big problem. I need my competent guys to command my big ships of the line. That's a real factor. Right, so I've got 4 ships of the line, the Arbogante, Gennaro, Petit Patre, the USS Alexander. So I've got 4 solid ships of the line, third rate as they are, but still. But still very, very solid ships of the line. I have 5 points. I've got a lot of money, crazily enough. I do actually have a lot more money, a lot more than I can spend, really, at this point. So what I'm going to do is get lightweight gun carriages, get some better guns over here. The 24 carat, okay. Replace this 24 pounder with Armstrong guns, because that's something I can do without too much ridiculous. I probably should replace it on the Alexander as well and all that, but I'm kind of a bit weary about replacing all of my cannons. So anyway, so that's one of the things, early copper sheathing, that kind of stuff. So that is fairly solid for now. So these 4, and I'm going to stop renaming them. Like I renamed a lot of these early ships. Right, so Blackpool, let's take a look over here. I might actually want to consider, right, so these guys are going to go, actually as many, yep, I'm just going to go to the limit there with muskets in particular. So Spanish, so yeah, guns are an actual issue. These guys will get So I do have some serious naval battles up ahead over here too. Two naval battles. Well, one probably less serious than the other. Like if I look at this one, just looking at this for a moment, I can see what what I'd be up against, or at least how many ships I can deploy. Because obviously the seriousness of the battles does depend on how many. Yep. Trading with our, they'll have to pay a tax, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I could probably bring that. So I imagine this would be easier than the other one, so less stress. So I want to fight the main battle, the one where I can bring 10 ships. It's gonna be difficult because I have 4 big battleships, pretty much, but I don't have enough to just fill a fleet. Like if I, for these 4, 5 with Andalus, Cornwall, 6, Saint, 7, Aquila, yeah. And then there you have the big issue. Like I probably have to bring these 2 to bear as well just to fill up. So anyway, Costin signing out. Stay tuned for more.